Well, hello. Quick project update. We now have the, I don't know quite what to call this, other brands of playful children's dough-related product are available. This has now been put into packets. When I put together the test sample method, you will see why this is relevant. This is basically going to simulate the person behind the Armour. So let's take a look at that. Okay, so we finally have our test setup made. I apologize, it took far too long. It looks a little crude, and that's because it is, because we're going to shoot at it. But we have holes in the front and holes in the back that are going to stick it down, and we have 4 bays in which we're going to put our samples. So the way this will work is we take our sample panel, see it's nicely labeled, put our sample panel in the bay. Now, just like this piece of timber at the back, it's just a piece of pine, would actually marginally increase the ballistic value of this panel. This is also not a good simulant for a person were they wearing some armor. So we discussed a piece of leather, and you just saw an update with the Play-Doh type material. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a piece of foam, and that's going to simulate our clothing. Then we have our piece of leather that simulates the skin, surface, body fat, etc. Then we can have our doughy part. So that looks a bit messy, but what we will have is hopefully we will get something around the back of the plate. And what we're hoping to do is not just stop around, but see what sort of deformation we can get to. What is the limit at which we can operate? So we have this foam here because we're not interested. If we get less than 10 millimeters of deformation, we can ignore it. That would be fine. We might have something actually protrude, in which case we're interested in a surface effect on the quote-unquote person involved here. Let's tip this up so you can see it a bit more easily. On the leather panel, and if the leather panel is dented, torn, or damaged, what mark that's going to leave on our person here, our pink little Play-Doh person. Basically, thanks to this and this, if we have any marking on this Play-Doh, I will consider that a fail in terms of the protective value of this. So we'll have 2 types of fail. We'll have the complete penetrative fail, where the round just blasts straight through everything. And then we will have these marginal fails, where the round hasn't penetrated the block, but has left a mark on here. Likewise, we'll have a marginal pass, where we have a swell on the back, but no appreciable transfer of energy into the Play-Doh man at the back here. Other than that, we will also have an affirmative pass, where obviously nothing penetrates at all. So that's going to be the criteria. I will put the list of results out in that manner, and you can see these samples are simply going to be loaded into these trays in this way, and that is going to be a highly scientific process by which we measure them. Some of these smaller samples, to make sure that they don't move, we can hold in place with some rubber wedges. I've got lots of rubber wedges to make sure they don't bounce around, because I do not want them falling over. I would like, if they catch the round or otherwise, to be able to recover those parts. So you can see that is firmly held both sideways and backwards. It'll be held on at the front. When the round strikes, we will get a true measure of both the value of this plate and what it would do to a person, quote unquote, behind. So we could have something go completely through, smash through the wood, in which case that's very obviously a fail. But then we might have some different results for some of the very thick pieces when we come to them. So those are all labeled. Next bit after this will be actually assembling it and doing the test. Thank you very much.